this brings us to a more salient point, and that's the fucking dragons themselves.
Oh my god.
So, who are the dragons? Like, let's list all the dragons.
There's Uncle Dragon.
Smurgle.
Brain damage,
Smog.
brain bag.
Dane Bramage.
Gorbash.
Gorbash.
Hydra Baby Thunderbutt.
Yeah, Hydra Baby Thunderbutt.
Hydro Baby Thunderbutt?
Hydra.
Hydra.
Hydro Baby
That was,
It was the
Gabriel
blackest
Jones
dragon.
baby?
Yeah, his pet dragon, which never had a spoken word of dialogue.
No,
it
it
was
did.
just
Multiple times it did speak.
Yes.
When he was fighting Spiky Nipple, and then when he was fighting Spiky Nipple.
That's the only time he spoke. Is
Twice.
When he had a grudge to bear.
When he was eating baby Gorbash.
Yeah.
And Spiky Nipple was like, and he's like, go away, you idiot.
Yeah.
There's the two dragons of
The Chinese lemon drop and the Blue Bindian.
Yeah, Blue Bandy.
Let's cover the two quick ones right off the bat that really didn't have any backstory. The albino dragon that Blue Bindian had.
Yes.
Which had the best design, I have to say. I'm going to
It
argue
was
that.
beautiful.
Yeah, it has no real character development, just basic character. But
it looked nice.
But it also fit within the science of the dragons, because we have to talk about the science of the dragons.
Yeah.
Self-inflating explosive whoopee cushions.
So that is how dragons fly. And
it's also why they look stupid as hell, apparently.
And the wings allow them to navigate and move.
Yeah, they're the rudders.
Yeah. But then we get over to the land of the rising sun.
Yeah, Lemon China.
And he has the traditional Chinese dragon, but it doesn't inflate. It just serpentines through the sky.
I've got it. It inflates like the long balloons, not the fat one.
Oh my god, you cracked this wide open.
So he's a balloon animal?
Yes.
Yes.
Just waiting that...
If he spins the wrong way, he ties himself into a dog.
My drink is gone.
Yep.
So...
I have to cut myself off. I'm going to get abusive.
So then after
Please
those
don't,
two...
I'm in arm's reach.
So after those two, we then get into Lime Wizard's first dragon, Smurgle.
Smog. Let's face it, that's Smog from Lord of the Hobbit.
Yeah. So Smurgle is just a really old dragon. In the line of, I can't fight ogres anymore, I'm old. I know. What did you say?
Yeah, basically. I just admitted to you that I'm old. Am I showing my age that much?
So we loosely went over this, and the reason why Smurgle's actually important into this is because of Gorbash, our main dragon, our antagonist, who becomes Peter Bash later.
You mean protagonist.
Pro-Bash.
Probashinator.
Anyway, Gorbash. Gorbash has the most tragic story. Sir Spiky Nipple is traveling through a volcano one day, because why not?
Because he's a knight.
Yeah.
The exact line is, I came back from a crusade or a mission or something.
The guy's so drunk he can't remember his past.
He probably just got drunk one day, wandered off somewhere, and thought, oh, where the heck am I?
Yeah,
fall asleep and woke up on the volcano. And said,
let's face it, this guy's pretty much Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Fighting windmills and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Nigel Thornberry's grandfather is Don Quixote.
It makes so much sense.
Yes,
One thing we didn't talk about Spiky Nipple earlier, and is actually very important about this scene, because he sees a nest of dragon's eggs, and he's like, oh, it's so pretty. I'm an amateur artist, let me draw this.
Yes!
Yeah.
So he's pulling out his charcoal to go draw this, and then Hydra Baby Thunderbutt comes flying out of the sky and starts eating the dragon eggs. And Spiky Nipple Man is like, no! Throws his sword, and it just bounces off
he
of
doesn't
him.
throw it. The first time he actually slashes at him with the sword, and the dragon just pimp smacks it out of his hand.
And pimp smacks him into a fucking wall, and he just says, and I passed out.
For 30 minutes.
And there was one dragon egg left, so I charged the fucker with my trident.
Yeah, pretty
Because
much.
I'm chivalrous like that.
So then he gets picked up by Hydra Baby Thunderbutt, and he's flying through the air, and he's like, how can I deal with this? I shove my glove into his mouth, which, because of the electric pellets that they have that sparks the hydrogen that causes the fire, because of the science added into dragons, Dragonheart goes into that even more in depth.
Yes. Dragonheart probably does it more in depth with a better backing and less
shit.
But this
drunk.
But this is the movie that inspired Dragonheart.
Yeah, because Dragonheart looks at this and goes, "Oh God, it's amateurish.
Yep.
I can do this better."
So anyway, he shoves his melt gauntlet into Hydra Baby's mouth and hits the palate, causing all the gas into his body to explode at once.
Where was the oxygen in the hydrogen bladder?
And he just falls to the ground, and Spiky Nipple Man goes, he was out of commission for like 7 years. And then picks up the baby dragon.
Why didn't you finish him fucking off?
So he just picks up baby dragon, and this is baby Gorbash, our probashinator.
You're a probashinator.
And so, at this point, let's be real here.
He's like, I can't care for a dragon. I get drunk and wake up on volcanoes. Let's take it to Princess Leidu.
Who was like 7 at the time.
And her dad, the 5,000-year-old line wizard.
Yes.
But here's the thing that gets me. Because he said that was like about 12 years ago, canonically. Gorbash is 12.
Yeah.
Gorbash is 12.
And it's about the same size as an adult dragon.
No.
Gorbash is 12. That's canon.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
No one thought about that. No one thought about that. Gorbash is 12.
Nope. Because it does not take 12 years to get that big.
But it did.
No. No, we've established that this was basically looking at fantasy and D&D and all of that kind of stuff. No book of fantasy or D&D with any kind of clout to it ever lists a fully grown dragon as being less than 50 years old.
Yeah.
Except for Gorbash, he's the exception. He is the elder
He's
son.
a big baby.
Anyway, so Gorbash is like, hey, look at my uncle, he's trying to mate, and now he has, like, broken penises and falling from the sky. Because that was a scene.
Yeah,
that was a scene.
He grabbed onto his uncle's tail and slipped because apparently Grandpa's that lubed up that even his ribbed tail for her pleasure
Yeah.
couldn't give him the grip to hang on.
Just, so after that, because they don't think Smurgle has been slapped around enough, Hydra Baby comes to slap the shit out of more people. Mm-hmm. And so...
When he picks up the scientist, takes him away, drops him to kill him through falling damage rather than just saying, oh yeah, I'm a fucking dragon, just rip this bitch in half.
Anyway, so as Peter is falling through the air, Gorbash grabs him, and Erectile Dysfunction Wizard, doing his amazing Erectile Dysfunction dance, casts a spell and fuses the two together.
Because he can't remember the proper spell to actually save the guy, he just makes shit up.
He says
Because
like,
that's how magic works, he makes shit up as he goes along.
He literally is like screaming, Kala, Kalima, Kala, Kala, Kala. What was that line? Oh yeah, Kala. As he's casting the spell. For the rest of the movie, Gorbash is in a coma in his own body while the body is being controlled by Peter.
Who is just learning everything and being enthralled by it, and apparently goes back to the future to become an amazing fantasy writer because he couldn't hack it as a scientist.
Hydra.
Baby Hydra is
Beaten as a child until adulthood, and
not
then
just
still
that,
beaten.
not just that. Let's talk about the conception because James Earl Jones at the end of the movie turns into a giant Hydra.
Which each of the heads have that kind of same design quality as whatever his pet dragon's name was.
Yeah, which is why I call it Baby Hydra Thunderbutt.
His Baby Hydra Thunderbutt. So apparently, like, he was a Hydra, and he's like, I'm going to make magic by having my way with magic.
And he produced a baby dragon. That's enough about Baby Hydra because there really isn't anything interesting about Baby Hydra because he only talks for revenge.
Baby Hydra has 2, 3, 4 lines, each in the direction of Sir Nipples a lot.
Oh.
Every other time that Baby Thunder Thighs...
His name gets better every time.
Baby Thunder Thighs was supposed to say something. He just looks at whoever addressed him last and goes... Like the voice actor was too drunk to say anything and just vomited over the microphone.
Can we be fair here? Every character sounded like that.
Every character sounded drunk. He was the only one who actually vommed.
But the next one is the worm.
The
Oh
best
my god,
dragon.
it looked like an earthworm, and then the head came up, and it was just like somebody had just slapped the most stereotypical Jew mask on top of it.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
With the greatest underbite ever.
But before we even get into how it just physically looked, we need to talk about how they identified it.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
Because, what was it? Peter identified the smell,
Wait a minute.
Botox, fire an arrow into it, watched it disappear. Oh, it's dark magic. Maybe so. But it's probably an acid. An acid? I don't know what kind, but I identified it by smell.
Yeah.
I worked in a lab with acid that smelled like this, but I couldn't identify it. I was too busy snorting it. This giant worm, not a worm W-Y-R-M, even though that's what they were calling
it the entire time, it's an earthworm.
It's a giant earthworm
That
sweating acid.
Sweets acid?
Sweet acid. What?
I'm
putting you
drunk.
It has down-home Bronx Jew rabbi face.
With an overbite that you could use to just wrap around his entire skull.
And so, Peter Bash is like, I know how to deal with this. I got this, fam.
I'm going to spit into its mouth.
Yeah.
Blows his entire load.
Yeah.
They even talk about how he blows his entire load.
Yeah.
And this epic battle just ignites into flames, and it's over. That's all we get of the dragon. It did the worm. It did nothing. It literally did nothing. It woke up, was like, hey, who are you guys?
I'm gonna eat you!
It's still the best dragon out of all of them, outside of maybe the Eastern dragon.
Not even a dragon! Yes, Troll Ogre Pegleg.
But we
Oh my
can't
god,
talk
I
about
love
Troll Ogre.
Troll Ogre Pegleg.
We can't talk about Troll Ogre Pegleg without first talking about Gay Tavern Keeper.
Oh god. This man had septuple chin.
Not only did he have septuple chins, but he had legs halfway up his torso.
Yeah.
To the fact where his ass met his shoulder blades.
Yes.
This was
the
a
other
perfectly designed human being. But this guy's lips, too. Like, that was another thing that got me. And,
Like, everyone else had very subtle and...
Thin, like...
his face was 90% lip.
Yeah. He sucked the lip off of everyone else. Insert gay joke here.
Yes.
And whatever was left off got siphoned off into James Earl Jones' fucking Doberman dog
Nose.
jowls.
Yeah.
And so, then we get to him going into the basement and finding Smargle and Gorbash drunk off their gourd.
Peter Bash.
Yeah, Peter Bash. Drunk off their gourd. Again, Gorbash is 12. So we're talking about the metabolism of a 12-year-old drinking roughly his body weight in mead.
Okay, you've made mead before.
20% ABV.
No. What mead is purple?
Blueberry mead, blueberry mead, blueberry mead.
There we go.
So, but that's like the only thing, like, remotely. But most meads are not purple.
No, they're like golden colored or clear.
So he had about 200 barrels of blueberry mead.
They said 30.
Each.
30 each.
No, the dragons are drinking out of kegs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably cracking that thing like a cold one with their claws.
And so then Sir Nippleman sees Jawas at the bar and stands up after drinking about half a keg himself of this purple mead.
Go fucker!
And says, fuck you, and starts running at these wizards, who are actually, for bad guys, they're actually minding their own business.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy, we're just gonna report back to the boss later.
Yeah,
Let's just get a cold beverage.
they looked at him and they were like, okay, bye.
We're
and
off
just
duty.
left.
No, they looked at these guys and went, we're off duty. We don't have to worry about it. You're with Cranberry Walrus. Okay, maybe we should leave after all.
Yeah, they just walked up. They didn't do anything, but the worst thing they did is because they were attacked. Because they were attacked, they were provoked. They walked up to Peg Leg Troll Ogre and were like, hey buddy, this guy's trying to fight us. You kick his ass. and so Pirate Troll Ogre just walks in and just destroys everything.
Yeah.
Not just the guy, the entire inn. He just starts going ham.
Yeah.
And poor gay leg man, fat dude, pickled dude, potato.
Like,
Septuple chin man.
Yeah. Is just dead.
chin's an ass.
Chin's
He's
ass.
dead. Like, we
dead.
see the end of him.
So they're like, oh, we have to avenge Tavern Guy that we drank all his shit from.
Yeah.
Because we promised we'd pay him back.
So they go fight this three-eyed with a fake eye.
One lazy eye.
Like, I don't know how this thing lived.
Poorly.
So then we get into the Bluth effect, though.
Yes.
This is the important thing about this fight. So, for those who don't know what the Bluth effect is, just so I can go over it quickly, if something is discolored in the background, it will be moved or destroyed.
They would do a background, they would do their animation frames, and each of these were on a different cell. So if you saw something was a slightly discolored version of the background, that means it was on a cell that was on a higher layer, because even though these things were transparent, they were not completely 100% translucent, so they would discolor things below them.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, Bluth wasn't the biggest perpetrator of this either. It was Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera was
yeah.
even worse, but he was the earliest and worst.
So, because he has the Bluth effect going on with him, this giant pirate troll.
Yeah.
He's dangerously genre savvy, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because he sees, he throws his mace at a parapet, shatters it apart.
Looks for which other ones are discolored.
With his lazy eye, by the way.
Yeah.
Not his good eye.
Remember-
His good eye was looking at Gorbat.
Well, that's the thing. You gotta have your eye on the target and your eye on the prize.
Yeah,
He's got, that's the lazy eye, it's Mad Eye Moody's eye.
yeah. So it's steering at all the ones that have Bluth effect. And it's steering at Gorbash. Basically, bitch slaps Gorbash until he's, like, laying down.
Yeah, Peter Bash,
And he
who
was handing out
had
naps.
distinct instructions not to breathe fire on him, not to get within grabbing distance,
Do
not
not
to do
ram
this,
him.
do not do that, do not do this. What does he do? Everything he was told not to, in order.
And the reason why he was told not to do this, because Smeargle was like, I'm too old for this.
But I know how it works.
Yeah, so, but again, Smeargle. No, Peter's passed out again for the umpteenth time in this movie.
That boy likes his naps.
And Smeargle's like, I guess I have to do this. And wraps his tail around the ogre and starts flying towards the edge because he sees Bluth effect. What's it called?
The parapet.
Yeah, Bluth effect parapet. Gets the whole body through this parapet. Ogre sees parapet with only slight Bluth effect and grabs it.
Yeah.
And it's only slight because they had a frame on top of it where they could just animate cracks in.
Yeah.
And he knew that.
That was the steel reinforced parapet.
Yep.
And after all this happens, the ogre is now dead, and so is Smeargle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smeargle just says, okay, I just gave my life to save yours, bitch.
And then he does one of two things that we can't decide. He either turns into a pile of gold, or they find the troll's gold and pile it over him.
Yeah, they buried him in gold.
They
Because
buried him in gold.
First off, if he turned into dirt, it would have been on top of the whole thing. They actually somehow got his body down to the ground,
Oh, yeah.
and then they buried him in gold.
They could have just buried the dragon in the dirt, and then kept the gold for themselves.
No, you can't keep the symbolism. Dragons need to sleep on soft metal.
Which leads us into our great next point.
Come algebra, anatomy, astronomy, biology, chemistry, geology.
Look! Another of your creations come to life.